Right now at 6, why the largest strike by healthcare workers in Oregon history still doesn't appear to have an end in sight.
I don't know what it's going to take to get us back inside.
Plus, Washington's governor takes action to protect children as fears rise around immigration raids targeting migrant communities.
We've been first in the past, we're first again. We'll stand up for your rights, we'll protect your freedoms.
And why did a local property that went up for auction end up getting 0 bidders?
It just needs to be, even if they clear it up and leave it an empty lot, it's better than what's there.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. Today marks 3 weeks since thousands of Providence hospital nurses and doctors went on strike, demanding better wages and staffing to improve patient care. But the two sides don't appear to be any closer to agreeing on a new contract that would bring them back to work.
Daisy Caballero is live at Providence St. Vincent with the latest on the picket lines. Daisy?
Yeah, David, Christine, I spoke with several nurses and they tell me that they don't feel like there's an end to the strike, at least for now. And over the weekend, 7 members of Congress sent a letter to the hospital urging them to bargain in good faith.
We did not expect to be out here this long. We don't want to be out here this long. These are our jobs. These are our patients.
Monday marks 3 weeks into the largest healthcare worker strike in state history.
Yes!
With thousands of Providence nurses and physicians represented by the Oregon Nurses Association picketing for better wages and staffing improvement for patient care.
The rhetoric that we've seen in the hospital every day is do more with less.
Telsha Gray is a nurse at Providence St. Vincent's and says safe staffing is top of mind for her, including having enough break nurses to allow them uninterrupted time to reset.
And that just puts a real strain on us as workers, our coworkers, and then our patients, because a lot of times we can't meet the needs and the high acuity that our patients have here at St. Vincent.
A spokesperson with Providence said at the request of the federal mediator, they're limiting what they're saying in the interest of advancing the negotiation, but sent KGW a statement that reads in part, the current proposals from the union are not financially sustainable. Only the ONA can decide to end the strike. Based on its rhetoric, we continue to anticipate a lengthy walkout. The ONA responded saying, as more and more stories emerge about the lack of quality care in Providence hospitals during the strike, the urgency to reach fair contracts that address the systemic issues of chronic understaffing and high turnover rates is more important now than ever. Casey Wolf is a registered nurse on the critical care unit at St. Vincent, and she's not surprised they're in week 3 of the strike.
I became a nurse for a reason, and that was to take care of people. And if I am not being respected and I am not given the tools to adequately take care of people, it sucks.
A sentiment Dr. Oja, among others, agree with.
And over the years, it has become more and more unsafe.
He's been a hospital medical physician for 10 years here and says they've seen more complicated patients, especially after COVID, with less staffing at the hospital. So you don't think you guys are asking for too much here?
No, we are not asking for too much, and we actually don't know why there's so much resistance to staffing part.
Nurses and doctors tell me that they plan to stay on the picket line until a fair deal is reached, and they're prepared for as long as that takes. Back to you guys.
Yeah, the term fair, of course, in the eye of the beholder there. Daisy Caballero on the west side tonight. Thanks, Daisy.
In your headlines, Gresham police have identified the person who was shot and killed in a city park last week. That shooting happened late Thursday afternoon at Vance Park on Southeast 182nd. 17-year-old Jorge Ovidio Mateo Vasquez died from his injuries by the time officers arrived. So far, police are not releasing any information about suspects or what may have led up to that shooting.
In Southeast Portland, a burglary suspect is safely in custody after a standoff with police. Authorities say they responded to a break-in around 5 this morning at the Portland Cannabis Market at Southeast 10th and Division. They say they believe the suspect was armed and asked folks in the neighborhood to stay inside. The suspect eventually surrendered just before 8. No one was injured.
Police are also investigating a deadly crash in southeast Portland. It happened just after 6:30 last night near Southeast Boise and Cesar Chavez Boulevard. When officers arrived, they found a woman who'd been hit. She was taken to the hospital where she died from her injuries. Police say the driver stayed at the scene.
One person is in custody after authorities raided what they are calling 2 chop shops, including one in Happy Valley. One of the locations was on Southeast 172nd. That's just over the Clackamas County line. The Multnomah County DA's office that has a task force that's been running point here says since last summer they have linked potentially hundreds of stolen cars to this single operation.
I do believe some have been confirmed, but we're in the process of going through the property, linking up parts, linking up vehicles to ascertain the true identity of the vehicles and the ownership.
The DA's office adds auto thefts are down 62% in Multnomah County since 2022.
The Skamania County Sheriff's Department has been ordered to take down 2 of 6 new cameras installed along SR 14 last month. They scan license plates in criminal investigations and during amber as well as silver alerts. But WashDOT says 2 of the cameras near Marble Road and Spring Creek State Park were installed without a proper permit. The Sheriff's Office says it'll move one to private property and get a permit to put the other on WashDOT property. Matt?
All right, Christine, thank you very much. Another beautiful day around the Northwest, and look at the post-sunset glow. Out of Newport, 46 degrees after being in the 50s today. This morning, it was cold in the low 20s. Very dry, but very cold, and we'll be about as cold again tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit warmer. We even had single digits over in eastern Oregon there. So we're calling tomorrow morning until about 9 a.m. a weather impact alert time period for you. Temperatures in the 20s. Might need to scrape the windshield again, just like the last several mornings. Look at Mountain Hood, just beautiful right now, even though it's getting dark. 39 degrees there. And you know what? Finally, new snow coming to the Cascades. Skiers have been waiting for it. It's going to arrive. And we'll talk about our chance for valley snow early next week, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. To new fallout now from President Trump's immigration crackdown.
Changing day to day here, Immigration and Customs Enforcement says it's taken more than 2,600 people into custody in the last week, including nearly 1,200 just yesterday. A senior administration official telling NBC News nearly half of those arrested on Sunday do not have criminal records.
Libby Dowsett is here now. Libby, Washington's governor made a big move today to protect the children of undocumented immigrants.
He definitely did. And the big question right now, what happens if the parents or caregivers are taken away and children remain here? So Washington Governor Bob Ferguson said he wants families to know that children will be protected. He signed an executive order calling for the formation of a family separation rapid response team, which will be headed by the Department of Children, Youth, and Family Services. It will involve groups including the Washington State Patrol and the Attorney General's office, all working together to develop policies to protect children affected by new immigration enforcement policies and mass deportation.
It means ripping families apart. It means kids losing their parents. It means business losing their workers. It means communities being significantly altered. We need to be prepared if this were to come to pass.
Those with Washington's Child Welfare Department said today parents should feel rest assured their children will be cared for and loved in Washington if they're detained or deported or if their parents are. The task force will be getting right on this issue to find local solutions. Governor Ferguson anticipates they will hold their first meetings no later than February 14th. We reached out to Governor Tina Kotek's office to see if she's considering a similar action, but have yet to hear back. David?
Yeah, you can certainly understand why so many are feeling so much uncertainty. Thanks, Libby. Let's take you to Southern California now, where rain and mountain snow are giving the LA area some welcome relief, with all major wildfires there now more than 95% contained. Earlier this month, reporter Bridget Chavez from our Seattle affiliate spent 3 days on the ground as the Palisades and Eaton fires raged. Here is some of what you'll see later this evening in a special report.
It was a firestorm. It was a tornado, and there was like 30-foot flames. It was just a powder keg moving down, and I had so many embers flying around me I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe.
So painful for so many and still so vivid. You can watch that full special. It's called Scenes of Destruction, 3 Days in LA. It's on KGW Plus, streaming live tonight at 8 or available on demand anytime on our KGW Plus app. That's for Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV.
And a quick reminder, KGW is still partnering up with the American Red Cross to raise money for wildfire survivors. You can donate still by scanning the QR code that's right there on your screen through the links at kgw.com or in person at any U.S. bank branch. At last check, more than 530 of you have donated, and together we've raised more than $77,000. Wow. That includes, by the way, someone from Southwest Washington who gave $10,000. So thank you all so much for your help.
A little bit of teamwork goes a long way.